Hey everyone, this is Martin, and we are looking down in the bilge of Treasured Times, and which is a 52-foot VTEC boat. And I'm here with Mike, and Mike is going to walk us through the water maker or the desalinization equipment that he's got here. And we're going to start with what?
This is the intake, where the water comes, the salt water comes in through a valve right here.
Okay, so I'm going to get down here and look at that. Okay, so that valve right there
Comes into here.
comes into that, which is a filter.
This is a big basket that catches all the heavy stuff.
Okay.
Seaweed, stuff like that, and we need to clean that right now because we've been out and now there's probably junk in there.
Yeah. And we were out 9 days.
So I'm gonna close the valve if it'll close.
Okay. Looks like it
Pretty much
closed.
Try never to put these on with a wrench. Just put them on.
And I guess there's like an O-ring in there.
Yeah, there's an O-ring in here.
Okay. Alright, yeah, okay.
And actually not too bad.
So that is the filter basket.
It just catches the grass.
And so it's sucked up grass and seaweeds from outside. And it catches, that's the first stage filter, right?
Yeah. So I'm just gonna dump this out. This got to go in a certain way. See the handle?
Okay, yeah.
Can't go like this. It's got to go like this.
Alright. So I guess what happens is it comes in here at the top and goes down through the basket,
Yep.
through the sides of the basket, then up and then back out. That line right there.
Right.
Okay.
And I see the handle in here.
Yeah.
If you turn it like this, it'll go in like that. But then if you get big stuff comes here, it'll get plugged up right here at the hole.
Oh, I get you. Okay.
So it's got to be sideways.
Alright.
Found that out the hard way. What I do before I put this back, I usually
Oh, good. There you
throw it in the bilge first.
go. Yeah.
And then I usually open this, make sure we got good water flow, and there's no stuff in the hose itself. So we got a good amount of water coming out.
Yeah. And it spit out a little bit of grass. Opening the system back up.
Open it back up.
Now we're going back into the engine room from a different direction. Alright, now we're back in the engine room.
So this is that hose, the other end of the hose.
Okay, so there's the hose.
And you see this hose black. So you can imagine some of the water that comes through here.
Okay.
So then it comes through here.
And that's a pump.
This is a booster pump.
Okay.
It just picks the water up and puts it under pressure. And then once we come out of the booster pump, we come to here. This T sends the water this way.
Right.
Only allows the water to go one way.
Alright.
Comes down here and hits the first filter. This is an oil water filter. It picks up any water, diesel fuel, or anything that was floating in the water, and it'll capture it here first.
So that white filter there collects oil.
And yeah, and we were never in any water that really had any oil in it. But if we were, that would collect it first. After it comes out of here, then it comes... No, this is the oil water separator. Okay, so I'm backwards. Redo.
Okay.
Anyway, it comes to the regular filter first. This is our pre-filter. After the pre-filter, it'll come out and go to the oil water separator.
And what does the pre-filter do?
The pre-filter picks up heavy solids, dirt, anything that made it through that screen.
Get stuck in there.
Yeah, dirt, mud, little tiny pieces of grass will get stuck in here.
Okay.
And it's a cartridge filter, kind of like this element here.
Replaced how many times?
You're going to replace that element probably 4 times, depending on how much you run it.
Yeah.
About every 250 hours, you're going to be replacing this filter.
Okay.
That's the oil separator.
Then we go to the oil separator.
Yeah. And if this should ever become plugged, there's a pressure switch here, and that switch will shut the system down and tell you we got a pressure problem.
Till you and clean it out or change the filter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, this system also has a freshwater flush on it, which is this other line here. Comes off the regular house water. Every so many hours of running, it'll stop making water, and it will flush fresh water through the system, just to clean out anything that's...
Does it do like a back flush or a forward flush?
It's a back flush.
It's a back flush, okay.
Yeah, it won't come to this point. It'll only go out to the filters and beyond.
All right.
It won't go out from here.
All right. Well, that's it for in here.
That's it for here. And then the actual water maker is down there.
Okay, so now I'm looking up between the 2 diesel engines to the front, no, actually to the back of the boat. And we're going to go up there, but we're going to come down through a hatch in the floor upstairs to get where the main water maker is.
We can go straight through.
I don't know if I can. Now we're up here on the floor of the salon. And we got 4 big hatches here. Okay, that is the water maker, actually desalinization plant. Is that what it is?
That's what it is. 2 RO filters. And
what does that mean?
The filters are a membrane, and the membrane has holes in it that are so small that the salt won't pass through. So how this works is you can't obviously pressurize all that water through because it'll just destroy the membranes. So for about when this is running, from what I've noticed, when we're making 20 gallons an hour, okay, we're actually processing about 1.5 gallons a minute, and 75% of that water is getting dumped right over
back into the ocean.
Yeah, only 25% of the water that we're bringing in we're actually making into water. The rest of it gets dumped back over.
And that's just because it's being pumped in faster than what it can process?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can't push it all through, it would destroy the membrane. This is the high pressure pump here in the back.
Okay.
So this takes that booster pressure water and steps it up even higher. And I think the water pressure ends up running, it's about 800 psi coming out of the high pressure jet.
Okay.
And going through here, and you can regulate it if you have less salt out there. When we start it up, you'll see the water, the product meter, and you can determine what's safe. This will be a green bar right here, and when you get into this area, it'll show red, so you know where you're at. But I have it pretty much set. It runs only 2 bars. We could make more water faster, but I figure we better have cleaner water than try to jam a bunch of water out.
Yeah. Okay.
This thing is crazy heavy. When we put this in here, I had to restack all the tanks on that side of the boat to compensate for the weight of this thing.
So is it like a couple hundred pounds?
I would say this probably weighs 250 pounds.
250, okay.
By itself. This controls that pump over there. And then obviously we control the water by opening and closing that valve. But
so you've got a couple of filters that have a membrane in there that takes the salt out. So all of the sediments have already been taken out. All of the oils and anything like that's already been taken out. Now it goes through and eliminates the salt. Does that back flush out, or does it use that other seawater that it just dumps overboard to capture that and take it overboard?
The excess salt?
Yeah.
Yeah, the excess salt will just go right out in the drain line. And I have it connected to a scupper on the side of the boat. So
okay.
And it just passes back out. This has that freshwater flush on it too. Every so many hours, once it determines it needs to be flushed, it'll utilize some of our fresh water to slowly saturate some fresh water back through the membranes.
Okay. And so once it goes through and removes the salt, is it then fresh water? Drinkable?
After that,
potable water?
It's totally drinkable water, and I do drink that water.
Yeah.
There is one more filter after this. It's not necessary. This is a charcoal filter. Sometimes I've noticed that the water tastes like Band-Aids, and it's just from the membrane. It's nothing wrong with the water. It's just
has an odd taste.
It's just from the plastic or whatever that membrane's made out of. You kind of weird taste.
Right.
So our charcoal filter eliminates all that. And actually, as soon as we got back here to the dock and we put fresh water in the tank, I immediately noticed a difference in the water because I could smell the chlorine.
Yeah, from the city water hookup.
Yeah, from the city water. But when we're out at sea, there's no chlorine, and I think this is way better water than what you're going to get anywhere else.
All right. So I'm guessing, I mean, this is, I suppose, designed for a boat and specifically for pulling salt water out and all of the other stuff, but I guess you could use this in other applications besides a boat, correct?
Sure.
Like if you just had a source of water but it was not good clean water, you could probably, because this takes ocean water and turns it into fresh drinking water.
Right. This is a reverse osmosis system, and you know they do sell these for wells and things like that where the water is not good. This one's designed a little bit different because it's specifically designed for boats and heavy salt content. But I mean, there are systems out there specifically for home use where you have some kind of water, brackish water, or you know,
pond water,
yeah, lake water, all doable. So,
that's amazing to me.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, and small package on this one. So
we were out, there's 4 of us, we were out for 10 days on the ocean, and this was our only source of water. And we never run out. We took showers, we cooked, we did everything with water that you need to do with water, and it kept up. We would turn it on and run it maybe once every other day. Was that what we were doing?
We were running this every day for about 8 hours.
Running it every day for 8 hours, and that was enough to keep us supplied, 4 people supplied. Now, how big is your freshwater holding tanks?
Our holding tank here is 300 gallons.
Okay.
So we were trying to make about 100 gallons a day just to keep up. We probably could have left it off and just ran it bulk all at one time, but I kind of find it better to run a little bit here and you know, wait a little bit more. Try to take it easy on the machinery, you know.
Excellent system. I mean, I wouldn't have known if I didn't know that this equipment was in here. I wouldn't have known that we weren't hooked up to a freshwater well. It was that good. All right. Well, thanks, Mike.
Yeah. All right.